go, bring it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger, come on.
All of them get the dough down.
That is the juggernaut.
All right, we're back. This is the Audible presented by Verizon. My name is Gabe Henderson. I'm here with our two guests of the night, my man Brian O'Neill, and the newcomer on the show, the rookie, Christian Darrisaw. What's up, fellas?
What up, what up?
How's it going?
Good.
I asked this question. We usually start this off with a trivia question, and we're going to get to that after I ask this question. But start number 2 for you this past Sunday. How did you feel after your start number 2, Brian?
I don't know how I felt after, but I know he was he seemed a lot less nervous and anxious than I did. Looking back on it, he seemed calm, cool, and collected. But I remember I was freaking out.
Were you freaking out at all before the game?
Not really. I'd probably say like the Detroit game.
Okay.
I didn't know when I was going to play. I knew I was going to play, but I didn't know like when the time was going to come.
Okay.
I was kind of like freaking out, but after that, like everything just got out and I was ready to play.
All right, trivia question. You ready?
Yep.
First one's for you, Brian. It's about Christian Darrisaw.
All right.
How many FBS offers did Christian have coming out of high school?
We went to Virginia Tech, so he probably had more than a couple. I'm gonna go with 12.
1.
Really?
1 offer.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, right?
Yep.
And you had what? A couple of HBCU offers?
Right. Like lower D1AA, Central Connecticut, schools like that. But
talk to me about that process.
Oh, it was difficult, just like because I wanted to play at the highest level, and like Virginia Tech, they came on late, like during the recruitment process and everything, and it was just like I'm just take my chances and go here, improve like all these other coaches, like they're not seeing something in me that they do, and I just ran with it.
Man, that's a really cool story, especially like you 3-star recruit coming out of high school, you 6'3", 6'4",
Yeah.
only 1 big offer and then 3 other offers.
Yeah, it was definitely. Seeing all my other teammates get all like the Alabamas, LSU's. Yeah.
They're selling insurance now.
Right.
All right, Christian, this one's for you. What sport did Brian win Delaware High School Player of the Year his senior season?
Basketball.
Man, you confident about that.
Oh, yeah.
So you pretty much, he told you about his game?
I seen the highlight tape.
So we had the highlight tape on the last time we had Brian on the Audible, and he was like kind of, that's nothing. Wore number 24 and was getting buckets.
Right. Getting straight buckets.
And you still all right, so did you play basketball, Christian?
Not in high school.
Not in high school?
Like growing up, yeah.
Okay. So I'm trying to think because y'all are both tackles and like having quick feet are essential to being a good tackle in the NFL. So any dancing, anything outside of like basketball or sports that help you with your footwork?
I certainly can't dance. He saw today at practice. No, not really. Just basketball and football for me growing up.
Yeah, for me, probably it's like as a kid, like growing up, I used to play tight end. So like I would do like all the tight end, like skill work and everything like that. So I probably feel like that. Got my quick feet from that, doing all that.
That's crazy because he played tight end, right?
Yeah.
And
so he got a touchdown in college.
who was that against?
Oh, I have one against Virginia Tech, but we lost. We lost the game. I didn't really ever beat Virginia Tech, so I can't really.
I didn't want to like rub that question in your face, but I knew it was against Virginia Tech, but I know you got one up on them. But you guys, we talked about it before. Brian, you're a staple on this offensive line. You just got here and now you're starting to work your way into the system, figure things out. Got 2 starts in the NFL now. How has Brian helped you with your process?
I'll probably say like a lot, really. Just coming in, getting hurt, and the uncertainty. Just talking to BO is just about like just stay with it. It's like trust the process and everything, because it's like hard trusting like a new organization, like just to instill all that trust. Like they're taking care of you, trying to make you like get healthy, back out on the field. Just having the conversations with him, and then when my time came, I was ready to go.
Both of you guys drafted early in the draft in your respective drafts. Like when coming in and, not being able to play, whether it's for injury or just learning process, what is that mental process like for you guys? Or just any rookie that's coming in, you're the man, you're a first round pick, but you still got to learn the system. Is it frustrating? Is it, rewarding? Is it like, what is that feeling like? I'll start with you, Brian.
I'd say it's humbling just because you're used to being the man. You're used to playing every snap. You're used to dominating. And then you come into even at practice before you start playing, you're not winning every single rep. Or in college, like I wasn't really losing a one-on-one rep, or you weren't really used to ever losing. You can just ask Pat Jones, but like when you get here and you go against Daniil and Griff, and at the time B-Rob for me and Linval, and the guys we had up front, you're not used to losing. So being able to be okay with taking it slow and just building up to where you're finally able to be ready to play, but then also understanding that like there's really good players in this league who are, you know, I came in probably still as like a little kid, and there's 28, 29-year-old grown men who've been doing this for 10 years. Like they're gonna get theirs too. Just understanding the level of players that you're gonna see.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of him the same way. It's like being a man in college. Like you don't lose any reps or anything like that, but it's like a little frustrating for me too. It's like the injury. I thought everything was like behind me, and then come back from fall camp, tweaked it a little bit, and just not knowing when I was gonna be able to like play. And like, I'm here to play football, and just haven't had any practices in like the summer and coming to fall camp. So just getting through that, talking to Pico and having those conversations, and just to get where I'm at now, I can't even explain it.
That's so crazy just to hear that perspective, because you always hear these defensive ends getting paid all this big money or getting all this notoriety, and they get it for beating left and right tackles. And then for you guys, you don't really hear much. Like if you hear a right tackle or left tackle's name in a game, chances are they're doing something wrong. Right. So the fact that you guys are actually, you know, able to I always call it flush and fix, make a mistake, flush it down the drain, fix it, and able to like have short memory. How important is that in being, you know, the bookends of an offensive line?
I mean, if you have a bad play, that pass rush is still coming the next play. So
Exactly.
Being able to, you know, when I don't have success is when I get kind of unsettled in my head, or I'm rushing things, or you're not really sure what's going on. Being able to slow down, play with a clear head, and just go out there and play football, that's when things are easiest for me. So just being able to understand, like, I got beat, like whatever, but my best chance for this next rep is being calm, cool, and collected and relaxed. Because if I'm tense, I'm probably going to get beat.
Have you seen any offensive linemen that's came in for their official visit, or their, you know, after they got signed in the draft and came in the sweatsuit and basketball shorts? Have you ever seen that, Brian?
What do you mean?
This guy, Christian Darrisaw, when he signed his contract, where did you fly from?
I was in Ocean City, Maryland.
So he was in Maryland and came in with basketball shorts and a hoodie on. I was like,
but that's what he's gonna wear every day.
Right.
He's not gonna switch up. Like that's what he's wearing right now.
Exactly.
Is a hoodie and sweatpants.
Man, I told a few people, I was like, I got the utmost respect for this dude for doing that.
Yeah.
Granted, you left in a Viking sweatsuit that was a little more professional.
Right.
But like, what was the mindset? Because I mean, usually guys come in with suits on. I mean, it's the biggest day of your life up until that point. So like, Mom, I'm going in with a suit. I know I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna smile, but you came in with a sweatsuit on.
So I didn't even wear like a suit to draft night. Like I had on some like a regular Gucci hoodie and some jeans, and it was just like the flight was like at 6 a.m. So I wanted to be comfortable.
I get it.
So I just put on a hoodie and some shorts and one backpack, and I was ready to go.
I remember Garrett came in full suited up for his, like when he got here right after he got drafted. I haven't seen him in a suit other than that and his wedding since.
All right, so you talked about Garrett, and I know you've been mic'd up a couple of times, and you and Garrett have a really good relationship. Can you just describe, both of you guys, describe the offensive line dynamic in the room? Because first and foremost, if you've been into TCL, I know a lot of people can't get in right now because of all the restrictions, but you guys have the most festive position room in the NFL. Like during Halloween, there's like cobwebs hanging off the ceiling. Now it's fall and it's Thanksgiving, you got leaves on the, like, talk to me.
For the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas on the 1st of every month, the rookies every year decorate the room. And it usually, Christmas is always the biggest. So December 1st, the rookies have to decorate the room for Christmas, and that's usually the best one because you've had October and November, Halloween and Thanksgiving to practice and prepare and really get it right. So they did a good job so far on Halloween and Thanksgiving, but the real test is Christmas.
So clearly you were a part of the decoration process. Yep. Are you an arts and craft guy or?
Not at all. Like back in August when we had to like get ready for Halloween, I was like, I didn't think they were serious about like the whole decoration, but they showed us like Ezra and like all the guys like have done it before. It was like, man, this is serious. Like, it's no joke. Like, you better have like everything to the T, or they're gonna take it down and you're gonna redo it. So Me and Wyatt, we got a little help from people upstairs too, but yeah.
Did
we
you
get
know
it
that?
done.
Do you know they had help?
Yeah, I had help when I was
Okay,
here
all right.
too. I did the people helped me out. But at the end of the month, instead of throwing out all the decorations, all the facilities guys go in there and get first pick or whatever they want. So I'm assuming the last couple of years, the guys that help us clean it up at the end of every month, they take home the best of the best. And
Yeah, I mean, you got to think if y'all are making, if it's like pumpkins or whatnot, like you just take that. If it's candy that's left over, you just.
Inflatables.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, so it's like Party City.
Right, exactly.
It's like a Party City.
I don't think there's any candy left over by the end of it. But
Well, we got to talk Baltimore Ravens because that is the most important game coming up on the schedule, but we'll get to it right when we come back from the break. Don't turn the dial. We'll be right back with more from Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw on the Audible presented by Verizon.
Let's go, bring it up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go.
It's about to be a lit day today.
Hey, let's get back to our swagger. Come on.
All of them get the dough down.
That is the juggernaut.
Well, we are back. This is the Audible presented by Verizon. Gabe Henderson here alongside Christian Darrisaw, my man Brian O'Neill. Fellas, I want to start this segment off with just, I'll have a little fun here a little bit. But football-wise, I know for a guard, you always say, okay, the power play is what I want to run. Like, if a coach asks an offensive lineman or offensive guard to say, like, hey, what is the first play you want to run in the game? Chances are he's going to say, like, ISO or power because you can get downfield quick and make a statement. For the exterior guys, what is that like? Like if Clint Kubiak came up to both of you guys right now, like separate and said, hey, first play of the game, Brian O'Neill, what do you want to run?
I want to run a play where I get to pull
Okay.
around the outside. It used to be a lot more enjoyable too because we were able to cut in space
Okay.
and run and dive at a guy's legs, but we're not allowed to cut outside the tackle box anymore. So it's not as fun, but I still like getting out on the edge and running a little bit.
What about you?
I'll probably say like an inside-outside zone. Just
Really?
going straight down at them. I love just like run.
Your way or opposite?
Either way.
Either way?
Yeah, either double team or the man block by myself.
Because I know if it's, away from you, you got the cutback, right? I mean, you got to cut off guy, and like same for you, right? So like, is there any moment that you could like make a statement with the cutoff block like that?
Sometimes, like, especially like we're running the outside zone, like away from me, and you cut off that 3 technique, and that ball is probably gonna shoot right behind you.
Yeah.
And with Dalvin running it, you never know. Touchdown.
And that's the thing, like you got Dalvin Cook as your running back, a guy that can bust up in 60 yards any given moment. For you guys that are, I wouldn't say the last line of offense, but if it's a cutback, you guys are technically the last line of offense if there's no tight end backside. Like, how does that make you feel when you get, for you, CD, I'm just thinking of a play last game. You had a 15-yard run and you were one-on-one with Randy Gregory, push him out the way. But when you have that moment to get that touchdown block, like, what does that feel like?
It feels better than a blown block, I'll tell you that. Like if you cut a guy off and you see him hit right behind you, it feels good, but at the same time, you're like, I hope it's 15 yards, not 5.
Right.
And then you're like, it feels good for about a quarter of a second, and then it's right back to the next one. It's like, just like you can't let a bad play hang with you, you can't let a good play hang with you because it could be 3rd and 4 the next play and the pass rush is still coming. So it's a good for a half second, but then it's right back to work.
I know I talked to Michael Pierce last week on the Audible, and we always talk about crowd noise, and especially home games. You want the crowd to get hyped for the opposing offense, but you never really realize like the defense, the home defense on the field, like they actually are like trying to hear each other out too. But from an offensive perspective, I know you played at Virginia Tech, the inner Sandman. You finally got to experience the skull chant and everything. Like, what is it like for you just being able to play in these raucous environments? I'm just comparing the inner Sandman to the skull chant.
Like the home games or away games?
Home games.
It's definitely it's electric. Just hearing that skull chant, you get like chills.
Yeah.
Especially like my first time hearing it, like the first home game, it's just like, man, it's crazy. And it's just like in the Sandman, though, coming from Virginia Tech, like our fans were rowdy, jumping, and I don't know.
Any comparison between like how crazy it gets?
I don't know. It's probably like right in the middle for me.
I know for you, like you've been there, you've experienced this Gold Champ since you've been here. Like, does it still do something to you when you hear it, like pregame, or like when the fans are just crazy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially last year, we didn't have it at all.
Right.
So like, even the preseason this year, week 1, it was like, oh wow, like we're back, and that was really cool to see. And I mean, it's been rocking every home game since. So,
CD, I know this has been a process for you getting back. You got your second start last week. Now you're starting to make some. You're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, right? But now that you know you're going in as a starter, you know you got a game plan for somebody that's pretty much they're going to give you their best defensive end. What is that mental process like for you, understanding that?
Really just gotta be like, I just gotta just have everything to a T. It's like watching a lot of film, studying like the playbook and everything like that. Just so the mental errors won't be there so I can play fast. The more I know, it's just like the faster I'll be. So just making sure I like break down the film, just know my rushers and everything like that. And I feel like the game will be like slower and I'll be able to move fast.
Would you say it was kind of like a whirlwind, like your first couple of like snaps or your first moment? I mean, you usually don't hear of linemen just like actually just getting thrown into the fire. Yeah. It's more so of like, all right, well, we got off season to figure this thing out. And now that you're just like here, like, was your mind spinning at first before it started slowing down?
That Detroit game, we was like backed up in the end zone, and my mind was definitely spinning. And we made that long drive and we got the touchdown. So it was just like everything just calmed down. It was like, I'm here. And just everything was just like, yeah, perfect.
the other thing is he didn't have OTA, like really OTA team reps, all at training camp, joint practices with the Broncos, preseason games, like all these other things that you see a normal rookie have in their progression in terms of up to playing. He didn't have as much, just like with the situation on how it unfolded throughout the offseason. So, and then practice in the season, you try to simulate a look on the scout team, but it's not the same as a training camp 3-hour grinder in the middle of July, or feeling it out in a preseason game or two and then kind of ramping it up. To me, he was thrown in the fire more than any rookie really has been, in my opinion, just given his exposure before that.
So how do you balance that as far as like letting him play versus coaching him up while being on the field?
I try not to really coach him up. We kind of, after each drive, like just look over like, hey, what'd he give you? Just kind of just, he can talk to me about what he saw from a rusher and I'll tell him what I saw. But I mean, he's a good player. He's a great player. There's a reason he was here. There's a reason they picked him that high. And there's a reason he's been playing well. So I don't really feel like he needs me to be picking him up and bringing him along. And that's just, a credit to the preparation he's put in and the player he is.
Well, chances are both of you guys are going to get opportunities to block Justin Houston on Sunday. Same thing as Randy Gregory. They're going to switch sides. What challenges does a guy like him, a veteran that's got 99.5 sacks, present to the tackle position?
I mean, he's a really good player who's been around a long time and doing it for a long time. We played him last year at Indy, and he was a really good player. And I certainly don't want either one of us to be number 100 for him. So, he's going to be gunning for that. That's a real thing. But they have a lot of talent up front. I also got a lot of respect for Calais Campbell. My rookie year, the Jaguars came here for joint practices and training camp. And that was kind of one of my welcome to the NFL moments was him. That was my first time really going against a guy of that caliber.
I mean, you just brought up your welcome to the NFL moment, so it's only right. CD, you've been playing in the league 3 games now. Have you had a welcome to the NFL moment? You did say that one drive was like, oh, shoot, like I can do this.
It probably was that one drive versus Detroit.
Really?
Just taking the ball all the way down the field, and it kind of just like hit me like actually playing now and just like we here.
Well, we're here now.
Yeah.
M&T Bank Stadium on Sunday. I know you said you don't have any rituals. This is just going to be another game day. How important is it for this offense to get back on track after the performance that we had on Sunday?
I mean, I think it's really important. I think to come out and not only prove to everybody, but prove to ourselves that we're at the level we think we are, and that we can play to the standard that we hold ourselves to, and show that we're better than the product that we put out on the field this past weekend.
As a collective unit, the offensive line in particular, what would you say a weekly goal is? I'm going to say just this week. I mean, we can say just this week, but going forward as far as like, okay, as an offensive line unit, this is what we want to do in order to be successful.
No sacks, 100 yards rushing, 150. I mean, keep number 8 clean and give Dalvin some holes. I think that's kind of really what it boils down to are two jobs: are protect the quarterback and, run the ball.
Being the blind side guy, you're left tackle, like he doesn't see his back.
Right.
So are there any extra goals that you set for yourself?
Not really no extra goals. I just go out there and just know, have that mindset, like B.O. said, we got to keep the quarterback clean, because we know when Kurt got time, one of the best in the league. So just keep him clean and open up holes for Dalvin. I feel like everything will work itself out from there.
Well, we talked about on the field. I want to talk about a little bit off the field before we get out of here. We have the annual Thanksgiving O-line turkey giveaway. Could you give it, Brian? I know you've done it a few times. So could you give fans a little insight of what it is and what it means?
Yeah, for probably since 2016 or 17, I think, before I got here, the O-line's done a turkey and Thanksgiving dinner giveaway at the Salvation Army in St. Paul, I believe. And so we're out there, buying and donating Thanksgiving meals to however many cars show up or to however many meals run out. And we're just there for a couple hours handing out meals and turkeys to families that need them. And the Salvation Army does a good job of, setting everything up and spreading the word for people who might need them, and just glad to help any way we can.
All right, last question. The Vikings offensive line will be successful Sunday if?
We can protect the quarterback and run the football. That's generic, but if we can play penalty-free and have no negative plays, sacks, tackles for loss, be penalty-free, have no negative plays, and keep their, really good pass rushers off the stat sheet, it'll be a good day.
And versus a blitzing defense that we know they're going to blitz the left tackle. They're going to blitz. If I was a DC, I would probably blitz the left tackle versus the right tackle, because that's what Kurt can't see. So being successful on Sunday against a blitzing defense, how do we do that?
Just like the preparation throughout the week, just watching the film, the blitz tape and everything like that, so we can know what pressures are coming. It's different tendencies, and okay, I've seen this on film, I know it's about to come, stuff like that. I really just feel like it's the preparation, really. It's leading up to the week and just going out there and just trusting it, everything that we would put in, all the work that we put in, just trust it and just go out there and play fast.
Well, guys, always a pleasure talking to these two guys. I'm expecting the big game out of both of them on Sunday, so make sure you stay tuned. 12 o'clock p.m. Central Time at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. For Brian O'Neill, Christian Darrisaw, my name is Gabe Henderson. Thank you again for tuning into another edition of the Audible presented by Verizon.